Hey everybody, it is a paper person pick 5 with Susanna Day today. I'm showing you the 5 things we are going to be playing with. And I'm going to be using these 2 photos of my nephews. And this paper, we're going to have some fun with this paper. So let's get started creating. And I also have 2 stamp sets. One is the one that comes in the kit. The other is one that came out a couple of months ago, and we're going to use both of those in our layout today too. Let's start with this pattern paper. So this pattern is one of the papers from the Maggie Holmes Garden Party collection, and the colors match perfectly with the paper person kit. This is the Make It, yes. What I'm going to do is I am going to cut apart all of these cards. So they're like 3x4. They're kind of maybe a little just shy of 3x4, but it's okay because I am not planning on using them in a page pocket or anything like that. I'm just going to cut them all apart. Once I have them cut apart, I'm going to use this Tim Holtz Distress tool. And I'm going to go ahead and rough up all of the edges of all of these cards. So I am just using that distress tool. It works really, really easily. I have a couple distress tools, and while this isn't my favorite, it does definitely get the job done. So I'm going to rough up the edges, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab some vintage photo distress oxide ink, and I'm just going to go ahead and work through all of these cards, distressing the edges and adding the vintage photo. So I really want to do my photos just like this, spanning the whole page. And then my idea is to take all of those distressed cards, tuck them above and below my photo, and kind of alter them. So I'm going to cut some of them in half, because what I want to do is I want to put some above my photo and some below my photo and kind of match them up. So you can kind of see here what I'm doing. And I am okay if I have to lift them up. You can see there, like I want them to look old and tattery and layered. So I'm just kind of running my finger around the edges. And then for the bottom pieces, I'm kind of just eyeballing them. I could have used it if you're very, like, you want them to match up. You can use a T-square ruler, but I was kind of like, I already have them at like all kinds of wonky angles anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it this way. Now we are going to break a couple of scrapbooking rules for our layout today. So the first scrapbooking rule that we are going to break is that I'm going to be mixing cream and white on this layout a lot. The other scrapbooking rule that we are going to be breaking is I am not going to distress all of my edges. So the only edges I'm going to distress are the ones on these cards, and the rest of our edges are going to be nice and clear, clean and clear. This is going to provide a ton of contrast. I love how it turns out, but just know as I create this layout that if that is not for you and it bothers you, don't mix your cream and white, and you can distress and ink all your edges if you need to. Once I have my kind of library cards all distressed and across the edge, I want to use one of them to create a bit of a title using the brand new stamp set that came in the May kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stamp set, and I'm going to grab my icing on the cake, Catherine Polar ink, and I'm going to stamp Happy Vibes just to the top of this one card. And it's going to sit up a little bit higher than the other cards stacked above and below my photo, and kind of act as my title. So here I have a little scrap of paper from just a white scrap of paper hanging around my desk, and I grabbed T and J, which are my nephew's first names, and I stamped them both using the blush ink from the Paper Person shop. I really have been enjoying these ink pads. I really like them, and they only have a limited color palette, so you can get the whole collection and it's not like a huge investment. I'm also using another stamp set from the Paper Person, Chloe, I think is the name of it. and I am stamping and. So this little title piece is going to say T and G. And then I'm also going to take, well, actually, first I'm going to trim it down. So I want this to just be a small, like rectangle. So I'm going to trim it down, and then I'm going to ink the edges, but I'm not going to distress the edges. I'm going to go ahead and mat this square with one of the 4x6 cards that were part of our Pick 5 for this month. I'm just going to give it a little bit of that dark kind of teal colored border. Ink the edges up again so that all of my edges have that nice vintage photo inked edge. And that one's going to go right there. And then the Happy Vibes is going to pop up here at the top. I'm going to grab another of my paper person stamps. This is the one from, I think it might have even been like maybe January, but it has all these little calendars that you can make. And there's these little stamps on there that say like the different years and the months. And so I got the one that said 2021, and I stamped that underneath my nephew's initials there. And that is just to help me with what year we're doing this. And I think that's a really cute stamp set, and I try to use that as often as possible. It's really, really cute. So I'm going to cut apart the two 4x6 cards that we have as part of our Pick 5 this month, or for this week, and I'm going to use them as layering pieces underneath these elements. So I took that kind of white one, and I'm going to pop it underneath. I'm going to take this teal one, and I'm going to pop it up here. That teal, my idea is to have a couple layers of each of the colors. So some of the darker teal one at the top and bottom, and then some of the whiter color with the lighter teal print at the top and bottom. Now I'm going to add this little tag, and I'm just going to pop it into my layers. This layout is really easy in both kind of design and style. And what's really kind of funny to me is that I did not add anything. I literally just used the 5 elements from our Pick 5 this month. So I used that paper from Maggie Holmes. I used the little sticker tag, and I used all 3 of the puffy circles. And that was good. The only thing I added into this layout was a little bit of extra stamping, and that's it. I'm going to go ahead because I really do want to pop up my little kind of title piece here. And then I just need to kind of trim everything down. I actually left this sit on my desk overnight thinking that I wanted to add something more to it, but not quite sure what it was. And in the end, I didn't need to add anything. It turned out beautiful. And it was, I love it. I love the contrast of the dark and the vintagey colors mixed with the bright white. And I think it sets off the t-shirts my nephews are wearing. And I think it turned out really fun and awesome. Be sure to head over to Susanna's channel. Tell her I said hello. Check out her layout because her layout is gorgeous. She did this amazing cherry blossom page, and you have got to see it. Talk to you all very soon. Bye.